This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 29th day of September in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, thanking you for joining us. And here's what we're tracking tonight. A 17-year-old boy from Region 3 is among 5 additional coronavirus-related deaths recorded by the Ministry of Health. 2 other young persons, a 28-year-old man from Region 4 and a 33-year-old man from Region 3, are also among the latest fatalities. The Ministry of Health did not indicate whether the latest COVID victims had underlying conditions, but it was made clear that they were all unvaccinated. Health officials continue to warn about the increased spread of the virus and its deadly attack on younger persons, especially those who are unvaccinated. According to the Ministry of Health, more than 95% of the persons who have died from the virus were unvaccinated. The number of new cases is also causing a headache for health workers tonight. Over 6,000 new COVID-19 cases were recorded so far this month, making September the month with the widest spread and the biggest increase in new cases since the first case was recorded in Guyana in March of 2020. September has also become the deadliest month for the pandemic, with 158 deaths recorded so far since the start of the month. The death toll in the country now stands at 783. There are over 4,000 active cases of the virus, with every region recording new cases almost daily. With the large number of persons who were administered a first dose of the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine, the Ministry of Health has made a decision to suspend administering more first doses of that vaccine and focus instead on administering the second doses. The same AstraZeneca vaccine is used for both first and second doses. A few weeks ago, the Minister of Health complained that more than 30,000 persons who were administered the first dose of the vaccine were still to return for their second dose shots. He urged them to get a second dose so that they will be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. During his daily COVID-19 update today, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the doses that are still in stock will be used only as second dose shots.
The remaining doses that we have, we are now using that to give people their second dose of the vaccine. And so those persons who are now 4 weeks to 12 weeks after their first dose, or any time in between that, they can come back and get their second dose AstraZeneca.
The move now means that unvaccinated persons who were contemplating the AstraZeneca vaccine will now have to choose one of the other available vaccines.
So we are no longer giving the first dose because if we continue doing first dose, we wouldn't have enough second dose to give. So we have stopped issuing first dose and we are now only doing second doses for people who want the AstraZeneca.
The minister did not say whether more of the AstraZeneca vaccine will be administered in Guyana, but noted that moves are afoot to secure other vaccines.
In the pipeline, we have a number of vaccines. They include more Pfizer, J&J, and some other vaccines that we're looking at.
The AstraZeneca vaccine was the first vaccine made available in Guyana through a donation from Barbados. Guyana eventually received additional doses of the vaccine through the COVAX initiative and other sources. The other vaccines being administered locally are Johnson & Johnson, Sputnik V, and Sinopharm for adults, along with Pfizer for children between the ages of 12 and 17 years.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say, but now that it's here, it will change life forever, and it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Strap in.
You know that it is a fact. The deal on wheels is back.
For family,
Deal on wheels,
for security,
that's a fact.
for fun.
Deal on wheels.
Republic Bank Deal on Wheels is back. With same-day approval, reduced equity, longer repayment terms, and more. Plus, 3 lucky winners would win $100,000 each. Get the ride for you at Republic Bank.
smile on everyone's face. Ole, got the flavor lamp. Ole's got it, yes, this is France's favorite snack. Ole, turn up the flavor now. Ole, turn up the taste, that's good so wow. Ole's got it anyhow. Ole, turn up the flavor now. Sunshine snacks, Ole, turn up the flavor.
Give me one dembe for my whole family. Their bread is tasty. Dembe baker.
Baked with love and passion by our dedicated team of fine bakers, we give you dembe. With the same great quality you're used to, we now have a slightly new look. Here in Land of Canaan, we are ready to give you even more. Don't wait until you're hungry. Reach for a slice of dembe. Dambake, healthy, wholesome living.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get your
color.
Buster $100. Come get your Buster $100.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Ramesh Ashram is walking back statements he made earlier this year that traffic ranks ought not stop vehicles randomly to demand documents from drivers. In an interview earlier today, the Traffic Chief clarified his statements, which were made months ago. He explained that it is an offense not to produce required documents when stopped by a member of the police force.
The law is clear that you have, when you're required by a police constable or any other member of the force to produce a driver's license, you have to do so on demand. It's an offense if you fail to produce it.
The earlier statements by the traffic chief were being used by many motorists to refuse to present their driver's license and other documents when stopped by police officers. He noted, however, that he holds firm to the view that random stops by ranks during peak hours may not be what is best.
When I said police are instructed traffic ranks that during the peak hours, that is to say between 7 and 9 in the morning and between 2 to 18 hours in the afternoon, they should not stop randomly and check for documents. The reason for that is between that period, we want the police to be at strategic points area to assist in the free flow of the traffic.
According to the traffic chief, motorists have an obligation to comply with the police once they're carrying out an exercise.
Don't use the statement how you want to use it for your own benefit. The police is covered under the law, the 1601. So you will find that Guyanese are accustomed to doing the wrong thing, and when action is being taken against them for committing themselves, whether traffic breach or any other breach, and you see the social media, you see it, they are denied.
Back in May, the traffic chief had threatened to remove ranks from the traffic department if they breach the standard operating procedures of the force. He's also urged citizens to file complaints if they believe they were wronged by the police. Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, today warned businesses that they could face the courts for failing to pay up the National Insurance Scheme contributions for their employees. The NIS hosted a General Assembly today as part of its 52nd anniversary observances. The Finance Minister said the institution is still facing setbacks, which have hampered its operations, and compliance by employers is one of those issues.
I wish to say very clearly to all employers in Guyana, you have a legal obligation to ensure that your employee, that you make deductions from your employee, and that you contribute your employer's contribution, and that you pay over those contributions on time to the scheme. That is a legal obligation.
Some of the contribution issues have hampered the on-time payments to pensioners. Minister Singh said the situation cannot remain the same, since it could affect the livelihoods of many persons.
It's not something that is negotiable, it is not a favor, it is not an act of benevolence. It is a legal obligation. It's part of the law governing employment and the terms and conditions of employment of people in Guyana.
And he urged employers to get their businesses in order.
And I'm urging all employers out there to ensure that you bring yourselves in order immediately. Those who are not in order, you are caught, you are breaking the law, you are displaying that you are a bad employer. You can't claim to be an employer who cares about your staff and your employees and you're not paying over the employees' contributions on time. So I'm saying definitively to all employers, please put your houses in order immediately.
The finance minister also called on the national insurance scheme to do more to ensure compliance by the companies. According to the NIS, of the over 20,000 companies that are registered with the body, only about 25% of them make their contributions and payments on time. The International Development Bank, the IDB, is partnering with the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry Limited, GBTI, to support the local bank as it diversifies its network of correspondent banks to offer trade products to more small and medium enterprises and clients in Guyana. The IDB and GBTI in a joint statement today said the deal reinforces the IDB's commitment to creating a hub for investment and trade for the nation and the region while creating opportunities for the communities. The statement said the program will expand support to existing industries and new and emerging businesses in sustaining productivity and job creation, which is beneficial given the current macroeconomic situation with COVID-19. Through the program, it was explained that GBTI will be able to increase its foreign trade products to those small and medium enterprises and adjust its current list of products in keeping with the demands of the clients. According to the acting CEO at GBTI, James Foster, the partnership with the IDB is a key contributor to realizing the bank's vision of creating a framework of sustainable development required to support the opportunities that advance communities across the country and the country in general. He said the partnership with the IDB is key to realizing that vision. The CEO said he is confident that GBTI will meet the challenges ahead and continue to contribute to the growth of Guyana. The Guyana government has pledged support for the inaugural International Energy Conference and Expo, which will be held in the country from the 15th to the 18th of February next year. In a statement issued to the Ministry of Natural Resources, the government said the hosting of the conference is timely and strategic given the growth and development of the energy sector, especially while many other nations around the world are coping with COVID-19 challenges, coupled with a declining economic rate. The government said the International Energy Conference will further strengthen Guyana's recognition as an emerging oil and gas leader and as a country with enormous potential for investments and business opportunities. It is anticipated that the event will catapult Guyana into the spotlight that will continue on the path of economic and infrastructural transformation, the statement added. The government said it remains committed to supporting the organizers of the event, which is geared towards creating partnerships and prospects for all participants, both foreign and local. The government said the event, which will be held at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, will act as a catalyst to promote, strengthen, and enhance local content, which is an integral component for oil and gas development in the country. The Ministry of Natural Resources has indicated that the forum's vision is in keeping with the plans of the government for the oil and gas sector. Let's tell you now that Jamaican national Sandra Russell, who was kept in local police custody for an additional 8 months after completing a 3.5 months sentence for trafficking marijuana, was today awarded $3.1 million in damages by Chief Justice Roxanne George. Russell sued the state of Guyana for false imprisonment and being subjected to inhumane treatment. She was hoping for a $70 million judgment, but got far less. During the hearing of the lawsuit, it was explained to the court that the Jamaican national was charged and convicted in the magistrate's court for trafficking marijuana. The court also ordered that she be deported on the completion of her sentence. However, when the prison sentence was completed in November 2018 and she was taken to the immigration department for deportation, she was handed back over to the police and taken into custody, as she was now being investigated for overstaying her time in Guyana. Ms. Russell remained in police custody for 8 months without ever being charged for an additional crime. Eventually, she was released in July 2019. There was no plan in place to facilitate her deportation, so she hired attorney Darren Wade and filed a lawsuit against the state for wrongful imprisonment. The attorney argued that having completed her original sentence, she should not have been held in police custody for such a long period without ever being charged for any additional crime. The laws of Guyana stipulate that a suspect can only be held for 72 hours pending charges. If additional time is needed during an investigation, the permission of the court would have to be sought. There was never an approach to the court seeking an extension of the time in the woman's case. In her ruling today, Chief Justice Roxanne George found that the woman was indeed detained unlawfully and is therefore entitled to redress from the state. The Chief Justice did not buy the state's arguments that the woman was being held while her true nationality was being verified. The judge said while she understands the need for that verification, the process cannot take 8 months while keeping the woman in custody without any charges. The Chief Justice said the laws of Guyana are very clear on the issues raised in the matter, and she therefore ordered the state to compensate the applicant to the tune of $3.1 million and also cover costs in the sum of $250,000.
You think about looking fly? Let me tell you where to stop by. Braiders Hair Store, they got you. Braiders Hair Store, they got you. They got the expression braids, natural twists and water wave, no locks, afro kinky, butterfly locks, and so much more. Come and get your braids right here now. We got any length you need, any color that makes you happy. Braiders Hair Store, 236 South Road, Lacey Town, Georgetown. Give us a call on 227-0554. Come and get your braids right here now.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Haiti's general election, which had been scheduled for the 7th of November, has been postponed after Prime Minister Ariel Henry dismissed the council that organizes elections, which many in the country had felt was too partisan. Henry promised to appoint a new electoral council, and he said he would be non-partisan and would set a new date for the elections. He told CNN in an interview broadcast yesterday that a process to replace the council had begun, and elections would take place after a constitutional review in the first months of the coming year. The dismissal of the 9-member council, which was widely expected and confirmed by a decree in the official Gazette on Monday, was met with approval by some lawmakers who had expressed doubts over its legitimacy. The council was appointed last year by President Jovenel Moïse to replace one that did not want to go through with his proposed referendum on a new constitution. Moïse was assassinated in July of this year. At least 30 inmates have been killed and dozens injured in a fight between rival gangs at a prison in the Ecuadorian port city of Guayaquil. A police commander said at least 5 inmates had been decapitated, while others had been shot dead. The commander, Fausto Bueno, said the prisoners had also thrown grenades. The regional governor said it took 400 police officers to regain control of the jail, which houses prisoners with links to international drug gangs. So far this year, more than 150 people have been killed in prison violence in Ecuador. In the bloodiest incident so far, 79 prisoners were killed in simultaneous fights back in February. And finally tonight, international news. Algeria and Morocco have reacted with anger to France's decision to slash the number of visas for their citizens. France announced on Tuesday that it would have the number of visas available to Moroccans and Algerians, and reduce by a third those available to Tunisians. It accused the 3 North African countries of failing to cooperate over the return of their nationals denied visas by France. Algeria summoned the French ambassador to formally protest against the move. The foreign minister Amar Bilani told a state news agency that France's decision was disproportionate. Meanwhile, Morocco's foreign minister Nazir Bourita called the decision unjustifiable and said his country has always acted responsibly on the issue of illegal migration. There was no immediate word from the Tunisian authorities. The French government spokesperson Gabriel Attal admitted on Tuesday that the decision to cut visas was drastic and unprecedented. When visa requests are denied, French authorities must still secure a consular pass in order to forcibly expel individuals to their home countries. The document was not being provided by Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, the government said. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.